Omaha City Council approved a housing action plan last night that advocates for a local law to establish a tenant's right to counsel.
Big question is, can the city require attorneys to be available for eviction cases? Our Bella Caracta reports.
I know I can't afford no attorney. I really can't. I cannot.
Crystal Phipps has never been evicted before, but with $1,400 in past due rent, her landlord had to take action.
An experienced attorney is going to know in relatively short order, this is what's vulnerable about the case. This is where we have some leverage in the case, or this is where we don't.
Phipps's legal aid attorney was there to help negotiate. Through a payment plan, Phipps avoided eviction and the landlord will get paid. The city's new housing action plan, approved Tuesday by City Council in a 5-2 vote, supports expanding free legal services and making it a tenant's right to an attorney. Although council members Brinker Harding and Amy Melton wanted to scrap that part of the plan, questioning the legality and logistics of it.
If you want court-appointed counsel for tenants, that has to go before the legislature, and you got to change state law.
She also challenged how a city ordinance would work when eviction court is through the county. But Omaha's housing manager, Greg Paskach, tells me some cities have made it work. He pointed to New York City, San Francisco, and Boulder as places where people have the right to counsel in eviction cases. But whether it's through a local law, public or private funding, the people in Court 20 just know eviction prevention is needed in Omaha.
Support from the city is key to show that this program is a collaboration and that it works.
On your side, in Omaha, Bella Caracta, 6 News.
The action plan approved by the City Council is designed to establish stronger eviction prevention services, and whatever form that may take, it could take 5 years or more to implement.